Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. 007 here. So this video is going to be about the equipment I have in my pack for my thru hike. This will not cover my tent, won't cover my sleeping system, my pack, or my shoes, because I covered those in my top 4 items in the previous video, so I won't go over them again. These items, I'm going to try to explain why some of the things I have and how I tweak some things. So the other thing is, everything I'm talking about here is going to be on an equipment list in the description. So if you see something that you're interested in, you can find it there for the actual name of it. I don't have any links to anything because everybody has different ways to do that. So I'm going to switch this camera into a head camera setup. That way I can use both my hands as I'm explaining everything here that I have on the table. All right, here we go. I'll hold everything up to my hands so you can see it. And there's no order to this. I just laid everything out here on the table and I'll go through it. So I've got this little item right here I keep in the top of my pack, and my cell phone fits in there and it'll seal it for when it's raining, because don't want that to get wet. I have this outer cover that I put on my phone when I'm out hiking. I got a Spyderco knife, which is about the lightest knife I could find. Of course, I got a spork, because you got to have that. And on that, my Versa fanny pack here. Just so this thing's been a lifesaver. I keep my spork in here as well because it fits very easily. And what I'll have in here during the day is snacks and my lunch, and so that is in here through the day. I don't keep the evening meal in there because that's in my pack. So I do have a small sewing kit that I carry. That's kind of pretty much all the items you're going to see here is because I got in a pinch and I didn't have something and now I have it. So this liner bag, and it's called Nylafume. The link, or not the link, but the actual name of it is in the description. This Nylafume, man, that's good stuff. It's like $7 for 3 of them, and I think this is still the one that I started with. So, and it is great for waterproofing everything in your bag. I put that in, everything goes inside of that. So I have this small bag. I had written everything that was in here. This has changed, so that bag doesn't matter. But all my electronics, which are right here, short of these two, all my electronics go into that bag, and that's where I keep that. Now, I'm going to cover this now. It's a little out of sequence, but this Thermarest Z seat, man, first off, it's great. You know, you're sitting on a log, you just throw it out there and you can sit down on that log there. But the other thing that I started using this for a lot, when I'm packing up my tent and I got things all over the place, I would lay items on this so that I wouldn't forget. And it, you know, because on the ground, especially when the light's not that great, you know, things kind of get covered up. But I put everything on here, and that way I know where it is. I mean, my stove, everything, I'll sit on there. And then at night when I'm sleeping, so my phone sits on here, well, provided the weather. If it's a little chilly, my phone sleeps with me, this sleeps with me, everything seems to sleep with me, you know. But that's really been pretty nice for me. I mean, I keep my notebook on there, my headlamp will be on there, and I know where everything is. It works out great for me. So yeah, and I wanted something to be able to sit down on, you know, on a log or something like that. I joke when I'm in the campsite and I look for where I can put my tent. You know, people always, hey, you're being a little picky. I said, well, I like furniture with my space, which is normally a tree. You know, I like a log laying there so I can set stuff on it. So that's kind of that. So now just the electronics piece. You see my headlamp. It's a black diamond spot. It has a red light as well. Oh, there we go. I really like the red light for at night. because you're shining in people's faces, and it's just a little rude when it's a bright light. So I have a Garmin Inreach Explorer. This is bigger than you see. A lot of people have the smaller one. This one, I'll talk about this. I've talked about it on the trail before. I can send text messages with this. There's a map with this. This thing has saved my butt because I have AT&T on my phone, and everybody knows on the AT and the Appalachian Mountains, AT&T, it just sucks. So, all right, I have this battery pack. This is an Anker. It's in the description. It's a 20K Anker. This thing will last me a week with no problem. The only issue with this thing is it takes most of the night to charge it up. So when about every 5 days or so, when I stop and get resupplied, I'll plug this thing in. It'll take pretty much all night. But yeah, that's my power bank. I have this USB. It's like a gigabyte. Plugs into my phone and the USB. This helps me out because I video every day, and I don't like keeping the videos on the phone. So I'm able to plug this in. Once I load all the pictures and everything on my video, I load everything onto this and get it off my phone so it doesn't slow my phone down. And I have everything here that I can keep for later. Also with this, and I'll pull these up. So my headphones, I don't have a battery operated headphone because that's something else I gotta charge. But these bad boys, this bad boy right here, I got it on Amazon. You can plug my headphones in there, and I can plug the my charger, my charging cord here, and then the other end of this goes into the power bank. So at night when I'm doing my videos, I'm kind of resupplying power while I'm working on the video. It takes a lot less time that way, and it works out good. Yeah, this thing's pretty awesome. This is the Flextail. It's 1.2 ounces that I use to blow up my sleeping pad that I talked to you about in the other video. And then I have this power bank charger. This thing, you need this for when you're going somewhere, and you're plugging in to charge your stuff. Make sure you get the one, so this is like a 20 or 30 watt out. Most of the ones you just get I went through my drawer and they were all 5 watts, which means it's going to take a lot longer to charge. So you want something you can do a little quicker, and that's where this came in. And I got some cables here, my Inreach, I have them all labeled. This is my Anker power bank. I'll tell you this, before you go out, make sure that you connect everything, and it's good, because I'll charge this, for instance, before I go on trail, leaving for the airport or whatever. And then sometimes, you might throw that, you have this plugged in at the house with this cable, and then that cable's sitting on your desk, and now you're out in the woods with this and no way to charge it, because everything has a different kind of cable. So all right, so that's that. Took care of all this. I also have this thermostat. It sits on my my waist belt on my pack. The battery's dead right now. I always put a new battery in before I go out. It's kind of nice because you want to know what the temperature is outside, and at night this really helped me out. I used to have one you had to look at the numbers, but my eyesight's so bad I couldn't see at halftime. I have a little notebook that I keep all my notes, always in pencil. This is day 33 from Bald Mountain. That's kind of my plan moving ahead, so I don't have to redo it every time. I do use the Far Out app, and I have all my routes in there as well, so I have that. This, I'm going to cover this first. This little thing, and I got to make sure it's on the description. When I did my through hike, I seen somebody else use this, and basically you just put it on here. This is my fuel for my stove, and the other end up there are the one you want to dump into it. And I'm bringing this now because at most of the hostels, you'll see a lot of spent fuel that is not empty. And so this is a way to fill those up without having to buy more fuel. So I'll have that. Now for the Foothills Trail, I'm not going to take this because it's 6 days and one canister will last that. But for the AT or something, you know, it's longer than 10, 15 days, I'll have this. I keep this in this little pouch here, this red pouch. It's another one of the Sea to Summit dry bags. This is kind of my emergency stuff, emergency for patching things. So this tape I use for like my tent. I got some the clear here you can use for other things, also can be used for the tent. I have this stuff for my sleeping pad, you know, to patch that. And then I always have a backup to my lighter. So these are the matches that you can get wet and they still work. So I always have a backup to the lighter. Even though most people, you know, if my lighter goes down, you can find one everywhere, and normally somebody at the camp, you know, will let you borrow theirs, but that's for emergency. And then I have a few rubber bands that have come in handy when I'm strings for my tent, things like that. So I keep all that in like that's my emergency kit. Gonna move on here. Man, you gotta have this bad boy, and I'm probably gonna put some tape around the handle. You know, if the ground's really hard, you're really kind of going at it, even though it's kind of it's rounded edges here. The other thing you'll notice on just about everything I have, this is that reflective shoestring kind of stuff. You can find these in just about anywhere. I have a whole roll of it, and I cut it and burn the end so it doesn't fray. Anything I could lay down, you know, you'll see it on there. These are items that get laid down, and in the dark, then you lose them, right? And you can see it on my pack over there as well. But just your headlamp, when it hits these, it reflects, really helps you find anything, so especially so you don't lose something. But I do have this in a pouch with some toilet paper and some wet wipes. That's where I keep this thing. This is my 3-liter bag that I talked about. Really happy with this thing, super light. I just keep it in my pack, and I only really use this at camp at night, or if I know a water source, I have a long distance between water sources, I might put a liter or two in here just so I have a little bit extra. So the piece we're looking at right here, this is my stove, right? So I got a pocket rocket, and this is the MSR cooking kit. You don't need much more than this. I measure the water in this thing. It's got the numbers on the side. Normally I'll keep with my permanent marker before I leave, I'll put a line and I'll write, you know, 8 ounces, because that seems to be the norm. But I put that there. But everything goes inside each other. So this whole thing kind of fits like this, and then the lid goes on top like that, and then that goes in this bag, which will seal up. Come on, work with me, baby. There we go. Gets in there, and the top, that'll hold that. You get the idea that when the string's pulled tight, it'll hold that down. It's kind of hard to get it right now because I wanted to show you something else. This thing also has, here we go. That probably helps out, doesn't it? And then that just fits on there just like that. So the nice thing about this, this is what I cook in. I'll put my coffee in here, and I don't have an extra cup. I just use this one, just rinse it out. This rubber on the ends, tested it out several times, so I can heat something up, and then I can use just my hands on the rubber and pick it up, and it's not too hot, you know, that it burns my hands or anything like that. But that's my cooking system. Gonna I do have a first aid pouch. I took everything out of here and kind of redid it to what I like. Man, this K-tape, especially for blisters and things like that, didn't have that when I started. Got it because I kept borrowing everybody else's because I had some significant blisters. And then just a couple bandages in here, these for, you know, blisters. I will tell you this, make sure you got some kind of a pin. It's a big deal out there when you're, you know, trying to drain blisters and things like that. I don't know how many times somebody asked, man, has anybody got a safety pin? And I happen to have one. So that's my first aid kit that I carry out there. Then I have, oh, that went in there. This is my my pack cover. When you buy a pack, I will tell you this, so that's a 58 liter pack. This one goes up to 60, 65, 30. It's much bigger than what I need for that pack, and I found that's a big that helps, because too often the pack cover that comes with it, if you have one, this one didn't come with one, is just super small, and you get the pack full, especially with stuff on the outside, and it doesn't cover. All right, so the next thing I want to cover is my toiletries, for lack of better words, or shaving kit, whatever you want to call it. I don't carry much. I have this toothbrush that folds up. I know some people, you know, chop their toothbrush or whatever, but this has worked for me. I got a pack of, I don't know, like 30 of them. So every other resupply kit, I get a new toothbrush. And Moneypenny will send me some toothpaste as well. And this, the Vaseline, especially for when you're rubbing, this comes in handy. So and this wasn't easy to find. I think I found it at CVS, something like that. And then really just for, you know, for my mouth, it's nice to have a couple of these, especially when I'm eating pemmican, things like that. I got these are my drugs that I take for diabetes and a couple other things. Always have earplugs, man, because things move around at night and there's nothing you can do about it. So I found it's best not to hear it. So that's why I have earplugs. I have one comb. I don't know why. I don't know that I ever used it. It doesn't weigh anything. Pair of toenail clippers or fingernail clippers, and I have an extra cap for my water bottle because I lost one the last time out. Thankfully it was the small bottle, so you know, I was able to get another one later. But if it would have been my liter bottle, it would end up being the small bottle because I'd just move it to the liter bottle. But boy, when you use this, lose this bad boy, it's a bad day. And there are several people I was able to help out because I'll always have one, and when I replace my smart bottles, you know, I always take the top off, so I have that. I have this little kit here. This is for my blood sugar, and I test 3 times a day-ish. So, you know, I kind of have to have that. You know, some things, so I have a lot of electrical stuff, and I get it. But I have to make my videos, I need a lot of that. Same with this. I'd rather not take this. You know, it doesn't weigh a lot, but it weighs a little bit. And I'd rather not have to take it, but I have to check my blood sugar. So that's why I take them. All right, so I got some REI rain mitts. Boy, it's gonna rain on you, and I'll tell you what, these things came in really handy. I had initially thought I would wear my gloves and then this over my gloves, but I didn't do that because it cuts out the wind as well. So if it's a little chilly and it's raining, these worked out great. I keep these in the pocket of my raincoat. It's just a North Face rain jacket. I looked at several rain jackets. This is an old one I had, and I ended up treating it because everything's going to get wet anyway. And I thought, you know, I'm not spending a couple $100 on another rain jacket when I have one that I can use for that. And that's kind of where I went. These are OR rain pants, The names in the specific names in the description. I like them because they have the zipper that goes all the way up the side, so you know it's easier to get them on. The other reason I went with these was suspenders. Man, I don't know about you guys, but when I'm wearing rain pants and I can do this little, you know, attachment here that draws them tight, but they end up riding down my butt, and you know, I'm always pulling them up. These suspenders, lifesavers. Boy, I was so happy with those. And they're real thin, so they don't bother me with my pack straps. These are my camp shoes. These are Crocs. You know, several people have asked about them. I just found them one day at a Crocs store. I've looked and tried to find them since. Can't find them anywhere. Couldn't tell you the name of them. They're just a light, and I like them because your foot slips in and it connects. So if I'm walking across a creek or something that I have to put these on, that works out good for me. So, all right, I have a Primaloft. Anybody that's watched some of my stuff, Primaloft's my big deal for me. It worked for me in the military. It's not let me down yet. Primaloft's good because it gets wet and it still keeps you warm. So this is my jacket that I have, and then I have this Patagonia mid layer. This thing's worked really well for me as well. I normally have, so my layers are, I have like a silk long sleeve top on, put this over that, and then put this jacket over that, or my raincoat, depending. Sometimes it's just wind you need to cut off. But normally, and I started 20 March, the only time I ever put my jacket on was at camp at night. So, all right, then the last thing is going to be my trekking poles. These are the Leica trekking poles. A couple things with these. Do have reflective tape on them. That's mainly because when I'm walking training here, so that people can see me. But I do have some parachute cord on here. That way I have that, quite a roll of tape here as well. I've already used the tape on this one, so I have to redo that. And then this is my GoPro mount. I use this on my trekking pole. So I put my GoPro there. I can just, you know, hold it up, the GoPro here, videoing, and then that takes a little bit of weight out of my pack. Not much, but that's where my GoPro goes. This is nothing more than a mountain bike mount. You know, it goes on your handlebars. Just make sure you get the one that you can turn. You know, I'm pressing this button, you can turn it. That'll help you out for when you different shots and things like that. The other thing with these, I'm not a big fan of stabbing leaves and dragging them with me. So these trekking pole ends, they're hard rubber. Didn't give me any problems whatsoever. I was pretty happy with it. All right, so that's pretty much my equipment. There's a couple other items that I didn't cover that I wanted to point out. One being, this is my water bottle holder that I have on my one strap. And then the other two things, I always have some hand sanitizer. This gets replenished, every 10 days-ish or so. And then I have this little towel that I picked up at REI on the way out one day. It's on our clearance rack or whatever. So I have those as well. But other than that, that kind of covers all the stuff I'm carrying. I can get a weight to you later. Like I said, it's around 22 pounds. That's what it was before. I'm sure it's still in that area. One other thing that I thought of after I said something, so this notebook, I'm going to carry this on the Foothills Trail, but I found an app that I put on my phone that you can take notes, every day, and you can add a lot of things. So I think that might replace my notebook, being I'm already carrying my phone. So yeah, like I said, everything should be in the comments or the description, a list of all the equipment that I have. If you have a question, please ask. And if there's a link, or not a link, but if there's an item you're looking for and I don't have it, please point it out and I'll add it to that to make sure you can get what you need. I know when I was preparing for my first thru hike, man, I just looked through YouTube and just trying to find everybody's little gizmo that they carried that, oh man, that looks like a better option. That stove is a better option for me, and things like that. So yeah, if you like what you see, please hit the subscribe button and the like button, and we'll go from there. I will point out one thing though. So this is the 2nd of October. Helene has just went through, last weekend and really decimated the AT trail and the foothills trail. So where I was planning on going out the foothills about the middle of October, I'm probably going to push a little bit. The trail's just in a terrible mess, and you can't really, the people that maintain the trail, most of them live in that area, so they're trying to take care of themselves, which, well, they should. And once they get their lives back in order, then I'm sure they'll start working on the trail. But I am keeping track of everything going on. In fact, I'm leaving here in about a couple hours, taking a lot of food and water up to the Asheville area, trying to help out as best I can. And I was telling Moneypenny, I said, I'll just pack up my bag. I mean, I got a tent, I got food, I got my water filter. I'll just, I can go up there and help out wherever they need help. So that's kind of my thought right now, moving forward. So, but definitely going to do some kind of hike. It may not be the Foothills Trail. Hoping to get 70 to 100 miles, and just to shake everything out. And we'll see what that looks like here as we go. But thanks everybody for following. I really appreciate it, and I'll talk to you later.